Okay, this is to answer the question, was Abraham a Jew? Or as much of it as I can answer in about 10 minutes. In the strict sense of the word, no, he was not a Jew. Was he under the Noahide laws? Yes, he was. However, Abraham kept certain of the laws that would be instituted or mandated later, such as, for example, circumcision and other laws. There were no Jews as such until the covenant at Sinai, that's in Exodus chapter 19. On the third new moon after the Israelites had gone forth from the land of Egypt, on that very day they entered the wilderness of Sinai. Having journeyed from Rephidim, they entered the wilderness of Sinai and encamped in the wilderness. Israel encamped there in front of the mountains, and Moses went up to God. And the Lord called to him from the mountain, saying, Thus shall you say to the house of Jacob, and declare to the children of Israel, You have seen what I did to the Egyptians, how I bore you on eagle's wings, and brought you to me. Now then, if you will obey me faithfully, and keep my covenant, you shall be my treasured possession among all peoples. Indeed, all the earth is mine, but you shall be to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words that you shall speak to the children of Israel. Moses came and summoned the elders of the people, and put them before them all the words that the Lord had commanded him. And the people answered, saying, All that the Lord has spoken to us we will do. And skipping down to verse 16. On the third day, as morning dawned, there was thunder and lightning and a dense cloud upon the mountain, and a very loud blast of the horn. And all the people who were in the camp trembled. Moses led the people out of the camp toward God, and they took their places at the foot of the mountain. Now Mount Sinai was all in smoke, for the Lord had come down in fire. The smoke rose like the smoke of a kiln, and the whole mountain trembled violently. The blare of the horn grew louder and louder. As Moses spoke, God answered him in thunder. The Lord came down upon Mount Sinai on the top of the mountain, and the Lord called Moses to the top of the mountain, and Moses went up. The Lord said to Moses, Go down, warn the people not to break through to the Lord to gaze, lest many of them perish. Skipping down to chapter 20, verse 15. All the people witnessed the thunder and lightning, the blare of the horn, and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they fell back and stood at a distance. You shall speak to us, they said to Moses, and we will obey. But let not God speak to us, lest we die. Moses answered the people, Be not afraid, for God has only come down in order to test you, and in order that the fear of him may be ever with you, so that you do not go astray. So the people remained at a distance, while Moses approached the thick cloud where God was. Okay, so this was the point at which the Torah was given to Moses, and Judaism became, Judaism entered the world. Up until this time, until the giving of the Torah, there were no Jews, so to speak. Abraham, yes, was a believer in God, and there's no denying that. And he did keep some of the principles that were instituted at Sinai, and some will say all of them. However, he was not a Jew. One doesn't necessarily need to be Jewish to follow the faith in the God of the Jews. Being Jewish is keeping the 613 mitzvot, the commandments of God. And although Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were righteous, and they did keep whatever they were supposed to keep, and they did keep much of the Torah, they were not Jews in the strictest sense of the word, because they hadn't taken that covenant upon themselves. What the Lord has commanded we will do. This covenant was taken on not only by the Jews at the foot of Sinai, but is also taken on by every individual Jew, either at his bar mitzvah or a convert takes it on as part of finishing his conversion. This covenant is the difference between Jews and Gentiles. It's not a race difference. It's not even so much an ideology difference, because non-Jews can believe in the God of the Bible and the God of the Torah without themselves following it. The difference between a Jew and a non-Jew is in obligation. The Jews are bound to keep the 613 laws, not because they are forced to, but because they agree to. And non-Jews, they have the opportunity, if they want to take the laws upon themselves as well. I hope this is clear and makes sense to you. Thanks. God bless.